Hi everyone, and take a deep breath with me. Have you ever felt like you were trying to manifest a new reality, applying every technique from Dr. Joe Dispenza, but you still felt like you were missing the actual rulebook of the universe? The truth is, the science of rewiring your brain and body works because it is built upon ancient, immutable principles known as the 7 Hermetic Laws. These laws, summarized in the classic text, the Kybalion, are the fundamental operating system of the quantum field. When you understand these laws, like vibration, correspondence, and polarity, you stop guessing why your manifestations are stuck and start creating with surgical precision. You begin to see that your new self is not just a psychological shift, but a biological alignment with the laws that govern all of existence. In this video, I'm going to give you a clear, high-level overview of these 7 laws and show you exactly how they connect to the neurobiology of change. This is the foundation. After today, we are starting a deep dive series dedicated to mastering each law individually so you can finally stop being an effect of your environment and start being the cause of your destiny. If you want to master the secret rules of the universe and finally align your biology with your abundance, subscribe to the channel right now and hit the notification bell. This series will change the way you see reality forever. To truly bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience, I highly recommend reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's work alongside our study of the Kybalion. You can find the links to his essential books in the first pinned comment to start your transformation today. 1. The mental and vibrational foundation, mentalism and vibration. To master the art of manifestation, we must first understand the architecture of the reality we inhabit. The ancient Kybalion begins with the most profound of all truths, the principle of mentalism. This law states that the all is mind, the universe is mental. In modern scientific terms, we understand the all as the quantum field, an invisible, infinite field of information and energy that exists beyond our 5 senses. This field is not a dead, empty void. It is a self-organizing, intelligent consciousness that responds to the presence of an observer. When Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks of the quantum observer, he is referring to this Hermetic law in action. Your mind is not just a localized phenomenon happening inside your skull. Your individual mind is a fractal expression of the universal mind, meaning you possess the same creative attributes as the field itself. The principle of mentalism teaches us that every material thing was first a thought. Before a building, a business, or a life of wealth can exist in physical form, it must first exist as a coherent mental blueprint. In neuroscience, this is reflected in the function of the frontal lobe. This part of your brain is the CEO, the architect that takes thought and makes it more real than anything else in your environment. When you focus your attention with absolute intentionality, you are using your mental capacity to select a specific possibility from the infinite soup of the quantum field. This is the first step of the law of attraction. However, many people fail because they stop at the mental level. They think about wealth, but they do not understand the secondary engine of reality, the principle of vibration. The Kybalion states that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This law is the bridge between the ancient world and modern quantum physics, which proves that solid matter is actually 99.99999% empty space. What we perceive as solid matter is actually a pattern of high-frequency energy. Your bank account, your physical body, and your future car are all nothing more than specific vibrational frequencies held in a temporary state of organization. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that your personal frequency is your electromagnetic signature. This signature is created by the union of your thoughts, the electrical signal, and your feelings, the magnetic charge. If the principle of mentalism is the what, the thought, the principle of vibration is the how, the energy. To attract anything, you must match the vibration of the reality you desire. Most people are in a state of vibrational incoherence. Their mind, mentalism, is thinking about a future of wealth, but their body, vibration, is feeling the low-frequency emotion of current lack or past fear. Because the law of vibration is absolute, the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are vibrating. If you vibrate scarcity, the quantum field has no choice but to return more scarcity to you. The biology of this vibration is found in your autonomic nervous system. When you are in stress, your body vibrates at a low, disorganized frequency dominated by cortisol and adrenaline. This creates a static signal in the field.
To change your life, you must change your internal chemistry, which in turn changes your cellular vibration. You must move from the dense, slow vibration of matter to the light, fast vibration of energy. By practicing heart coherence, you generate a smooth, high-amplitude magnetic signal. This signal organizes the energy around you, aligning your individual mind with the creative power of the universal mind. When your mental intention, Law 1, and your emotional vibration, Law 3, are in perfect alignment, you become a powerful magnet. You are no longer chasing your destiny. You are commanding the field to organize itself. This is the secret of the master. The master understands that they do not need to manipulate matter to create wealth. They only need to master the mental and vibrational state within themselves. If the universe is mental, then your primary job is to maintain the mental image of your future with such clarity that the field recognizes it as a present fact. This is the act of becoming nobody, no thing, nowhere in no time. In that state of pure consciousness, you are at the source code of the principle of mentalism. You are at the point where all vibrations originate. From this 0 point, you can broadcast any frequency you choose. But to maintain this broadcast, you must understand how your internal state relates to the external world, which brings us to the second set of laws that govern the mirror of reality. We must recognize that every cell in our body is a tiny resonator, constantly receiving and sending information based on the prevailing chemical environment. When we are in a state of high-frequency emotion, like gratitude, joy, or love, the cells vibrate at a frequency that allows for maximum energy flow and health. This is the frequency of abundance. Conversely, when we are trapped in the survival emotions of the old self, our cellular vibration slows down. We become dense, heavy, and physically disconnected from the faster frequencies of the quantum field. The law of vibration ensures that like attracts like. A body vibrating with the frequency of I have will naturally draw to it all the circumstances that validate that internal feeling. This is why Dr. Joe Dispenza emphasizes that you must feel the emotion of the future before it happens. You are literally installing the vibration of the wealth you seek into your biological hardware. Once that vibration is established as your new homeostasis, the principle of mentalism takes over, and the universal mind begins to move matter to fulfill the requirement of your new frequency. The transition from a low vibration identity to a high vibration identity is the true work of the spiritual and scientific practitioner. It is a process of shedding the dense frequencies of the past. As you liberate the energy once stored as trauma, the somatic blocks we discussed, that energy is returned to your field, increasing your overall vibrational frequency and your creative power. You are moving from being a victim of the circumstances of matter to becoming the victor over the laws of energy.
You are learning to play the game of life according to the rules of the all. The foundation of the law of attraction is not hope, it is the mathematical and biological application of mentalism and vibration. When these two are mastered, manifestation is no longer a miracle, it is a certainty. Now that we understand the core engine, we must look at how this energy is reflected and balanced through the laws of correspondence and polarity.
2. The mirror and the pole, correspondence and polarity. Once the foundation of mentalism and vibration is set, we must understand how this internal energy translates into external reality. This brings us to the second pillar of the Kybalion, the principle of correspondence. This law is famously summarized in the phrase, as above, so below, as below, so above. In the context of the law of attraction and neurobiology, we translate this as within, so without. The principle of correspondence teaches us that there is a constant, perfect harmony between the different planes of existence, the mental, the emotional, and the physical. Your external life is a biological mirror. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work proves this by showing that your outer environment is a direct reflection of your inner chemical state. If your within is a state of survival, your without must correspond to that scarcity. This law is why you cannot trick the field. You can say you want wealth, but if your internal cellular environment is conditioned to the memory of loss, the law of correspondence dictates that your reality will mirror the loss. To change the below, the physical results, you must first change the above, the mental blueprint and emotional frequency. The reflection in the mirror only changes when the object in front of it changes first. This leads us to the fourth law, which explains the nature of our internal struggle, the principle of polarity. This law states that everything is dual, everything has poles, extremes meet. Polarity teaches us that what we perceive as opposites, like poverty and wealth, fear and love, or sickness and health, are actually the same thing, just at different degrees of frequency or vibration. Think of a thermometer. Where does cold end and heat begin? There is no point of absolute separation. They're simply different degrees of the same thing. The same is true for your financial state. Wealth and poverty are the same energetic scale. The old self is simply an identity that is chemically and energetically polarized toward the negative end of that scale, anchored by the survival emotions. The secret of transformation, according to both the Kybalion and Dr. Joe Dispenza, is the act of mental transmutation. You do not destroy poverty, you simply shift your vibration to the other pole of the same scale. However, moving from one pole to another is difficult because the body is addicted to its current polarization. The body feels safe in the familiar pole of lack, even if that lack is painful and destructive. This is where Dr. Joe Dispenza's concept of the void becomes the ultimate hermetic tool. To shift your polarity, you must first move to the center, the point of 0-point energy where all poles meet. When you enter the meditation and become no thing, no body, nowhere, you are essentially neutralizing your current polarity. You are stepping out of the old self and into the neutral field of infinite potential. From this neutral center, you can choose which pole you wish to inhabit. By generating an elevated emotion like gratitude, you are actively sliding your energetic signature toward the pole of abundance. The law of polarity guarantees that the potential for wealth is already present within your current experience of lack. They are inseparable. The wealth you seek is just a higher frequency of the lack you feel. The biological challenge is that as you shift toward the pole of abundance, your body will experience a chemical pull back toward the old pole. This is the biological survival mechanism resisting the change in frequency.
You must use the principle of correspondence to remain steady. You must behave as if the higher pole is already your reality, regardless of what the current lagging reflection in the mirror is showing you. The mirror of reality has a delay. The physical world is the densest form of vibration, so it takes time for the below to catch up with the above. Most people fail because they see the old reflection and give up. When you see lack in your bank account, but you are internally polarized to abundance, you must remember the law of correspondence. As within, so without. If the within stays stable, the without must follow. This requires a profound level of coherence. Your heart must remain in the high frequency pole, while your brain remains focused on the mental blueprint of the new life. This unified signal overrides the old polarization. The master of Hermetic Law does not fight the negative pole. They simply focus all their attention on the positive pole until the old vibration fades away from lack of energy. This is the essence of starving the block. As you move your energy toward the pole of wealth, you are also signaling to your genes to express a new phenotype. You are epigenetically matching your biology to the higher frequency of the universal mind. This transition is the true meaning of the alchemical marriage, the union of your individual will with the universal laws. You are no longer separate from the field. You are an active participant in its organization. The principle of polarity tells us that every problem contains its own solution. Therefore, every financial block contains the energy of its own liberation. You only need to shift the degree of your vibration. By understanding that everything is a scale of frequency, you lose the fear of the negative pole. You realize that you are always just one shift in consciousness away from the opposite experience. The Kybalion and the science of Dr. Joe Dispenza are telling you the same thing. You are the operator of the scale. You are the one who decides where your energy is polarized. Mastering correspondence and polarity means becoming the architect of your own mirror. You stop reacting to the world and start commanding it from the high-frequency poles of consciousness. Once you have mastered the mirror and the scale, you must understand the movement of time and energy, the laws of rhythm and cause and effect, which dictate how your new reality arrives. 3. The flow of creation, rhythm and cause and effect. After understanding the static laws of mind and vibration, we must face the laws of movement and progression. The first of these dynamic principles is the principle of rhythm. This law states that everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. In the context of manifestation and the law of attraction, the principle of rhythm explains why change is rarely a straight line. It describes the natural cycles of growth and the subsequent ebbs that occur during any transformation. Dr. Joe Dispenza refers to this as the river of change. When you begin to fire and wire new neural pathways, you are attempting to swing your energetic pendulum toward a new destiny of abundance. However, the law of rhythm dictates that a compensatory swing will eventually occur. As you move toward the new self, the biological momentum of the old self will attempt to swing back toward the familiar past. This is the phase of chemical withdrawal. Your body, which was addicted to the stress and scarcity of the past, experiences a low tide of energy, making you feel as though your efforts are failing. Most people perceive this natural rhythmic swing as a sign that the law of attraction is not working. They see the return of old thoughts or a temporary lack of external results, and they give up. The Hermetic Master understands the law of neutralization. You cannot stop the pendulum of rhythm from swinging, but you can refuse to let it carry you back into the negative state of the past. By maintaining heart coherence and emotional stability during the ebb phase, you effectively stay on a higher plane of consciousness, allowing the rhythmic swing to happen beneath you without affecting your vibration. You recognize that the tide will eventually come back in. If you remain stable in your new frequency, the next swing to the right will carry you even further toward your manifestation than the first one did. This stability leads us directly into the sixth law, the cornerstone of personal power, the principle of cause and effect. This law states that every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. In the world of survival, most people live as the effect of their environment. They wait for a change in their bank account, external cause, to feel wealthy, internal effect. They are victims of the physical world. The principle of cause and effect, when combined with Dr. Joe Dispenza's science, teaches us to reverse this equation. To manifest wealth, you must become the cause of your reality. Your thoughts and feelings, your electromagnetic signature, are the only true causes in the quantum field. The physical world is merely a persistent holographic effect of your internal state. If you want a different effect, wealth, health, love, you must provide a different cause. You must change your internal broadcast before the environment provides any evidence of change. The Kybalion teaches that there are many planes of causation, and by rising to the mental and spiritual planes, you can dominate the lower planes of matter. You stop playing the game of chance and start playing the game of law.
When you sit in meditation and generate the feeling of abundance, you are initiating a new causal chain. You are planting a seed in the field that must, by universal law, result in a corresponding effect. Nothing escapes the law of cause and effect. There is no such thing as luck or accidents. What we call luck is simply the manifestation of a cause that we failed to perceive or understand. By becoming a conscious creator, you take responsibility for the causes you are broadcasting. You realize that every moment of doubt is a cause for future lack, and every moment of gratitude is a cause for future wealth. This requires a high level of metacognition, the ability to monitor your thoughts and feelings so that you do not accidentally initiate causal chains that lead back to your old life. You must be disciplined. You must ensure that the above of your intention is strong enough to dictate the below of your physical experience, regardless of the rhythmic tides of the body's withdrawal. The law of rhythm and the law of cause and effect work together to test your commitment. The rhythm provides the resistance, and your ability to remain the cause provides the breakthrough. When you master these two laws, you no longer fear the passage of time or the fluctuations of the economy. You know that you are the primary engine of your experience. You understand that as long as the cause, your internal state, remains constant, the effect, your external manifestation, is an absolute mathematical and universal certainty. This understanding removes the desperation from the process of manifestation. You can relax into the knowing that the law is working for you, even when the tide seems to be out. You are now ready to understand the final, most creative law, the principle of gender, which explains how the union of your mind and heart actually gives birth to your new reality. 4. The act of manifestation, gender, and the new homeostasis. The culmination of the Hermetic journey is the seventh and final law, the principle of gender. This law states that gender is in everything, everything has its masculine and feminine principles, and gender manifests on all planes. To the master of the law of attraction, this is the most practical of all laws. It explains the biological and energetic marriage required to birth a new reality from the quantum field into the physical world.
In our neurobiological model, we understand these principles through the two primary centers of creation, the brain and the heart. Creation is impossible with only one of these forces. It requires a unified field. The masculine principle is the mind. It is the seed. It represents clear intention, focus, direction, and the electrical signal. It is the function of the prefrontal cortex to decide what is being created and to hold that image stable. The feminine principle is the heart. It is the soil. It represents elevated emotion, feeling, magnetism, and the power that nourishes the seed. It is the function of the autonomic nervous system to provide the energy that brings the thought to life. Manifestation is an alchemical process where the masculine, thought, penetrates the feminine, emotion, to produce a child, the manifestation. If you have intention without emotion, you have a dry seed with no soil. If you have emotion without intention, you have fertile soil with no direction. Only when the brain, electrical, and the heart, magnetic, are in perfect coherence do you create the electromagnetic signature of a new life. The principle of gender teaches us that every seed has a gestation period. Just as it takes 9 months for a human child to form, a financial or physical manifestation has an inherent timeline required for the energy to densify into matter. Most people fail because they do not understand this incubation period. They plant the seed, the intention, but they dig it up every day by checking for results or by falling back into the old self chemistry of doubt. To master this law, you must maintain the new biological homeostasis. You must protect the womb of your creation by refusing to allow the low-frequency emotions of your environment to abort the energetic gestation of your future. You are effectively a parent to your new reality. Your masculine mind provides the unwavering vision, while your feminine heart provides the constant, high-frequency love and gratitude that allows the manifestation to grow. As you sustain this state, you are moving from a state of wanting to a state of being. In the state of being, the masculine and feminine are no longer separate. They are a singular, coherent force that the universe must respond to. This is the end of the overview of the 7 laws, but it is only the beginning of your mastery. You now see that the Kybalion and Dr. Joe Dispenza are describing the same fundamental mechanics of the soul and the cell. By aligning your biology with these laws, you move beyond the lottery mindset of the law of attraction. You become a scientist of the spirit, a master of energy who knows exactly how to move the levers of reality. The series that follows will take each of these laws and deconstruct them into specific protocols. We will dive deep into the chemistry of vibration and the neuroplasticity of mentalism to give you a complete toolkit for transformation. Your journey from a victim of circumstance to a master of the all begins now. You are not just learning philosophy, you are reclaiming your biological and spiritual inheritance as a creator of worlds. Prepare your mind and open your heart. The ancient keys have been returned to your hands, and the quantum field is waiting for your next command. To truly master the laws of the universe and the science of your own mind, you must go to the source. I have curated 2 essential resources for you in the description below. First, the Kybalion, the ancient manual on the 7 Hermetic Laws that we've discussed today. This book provides the philosophical foundation for all manifestation. Second, the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, which provides the modern scientific protocol to actually apply these laws through your biology. You can find the links to both the Kybalion and Dr. Joe's essential books in the first pinned comment. Get your copies today to follow along with this series. We have just unlocked the master key to reality. Understanding these 7 laws is the difference between struggling for abundance and effortlessly attracting it as your birthright. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 laws, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, or gender, resonated with you the most today? Which one do you feel has been the missing piece in your journey? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. This is the first step of our 8-part journey together. If you're ready to dive deep into the law of mentalism in our next video, make sure you've subscribed and turned on all notifications. Don't just watch, participate in your own evolution. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in video 2 as we master the universal mind.